Vision of the blessed Ezra. Ezra prayed to the Most High, saying, "Grant me courage, O Most High, that I might not fear when I see the judgments of the sinners." And there were granted to him 7 angels of hell, who carried him beyond the 70th grade in the infernal regions. And he saw fiery gates, and at these gates he saw 2 lions lying there, from whose mouth and nostrils and eyes proceeded the most powerful flames. The most powerful men were entering and passing through the fire, and it did not touch them. And Ezra said, "Who are they who advance so safely?" The angels said to him, "They are the just, whose repute has ascended to heaven, who gave alms generously, clothed the naked, and desired a good desire." And others were entering that they might pass through the gates, and dogs were ripping them apart, and fire was consuming them. And Ezra said, "Who are they?" The angels said, "They denied the Most High and sinned with women on the Most High's day." And Ezra said, "Most High, have mercy on the sinners." And they led him lower beyond the 50th grade, and he saw in that place men standing in torments. Some were throwing fire in their faces, others, however, were whipping them with fiery scourges. And the earth cried aloud, saying, "Whip them, and refuse to have mercy on them, because they worked impiety upon me." And Ezra said, "Who are they who are in such torments daily?" The angels said, "They dwelled with married women." The married women are those who adorn themselves not for their husbands, but that they might please others, desiring an evil desire. Ezra said, "Most High, have mercy on the sinners." And again they brought him to the south, and he saw fire and poor ones, and also women hanging, and angels were whipping them with fiery clubs. And Ezra said, "Most High, have mercy on the sinners. Who are they?" And the angels said, "They dwelled with their mothers, desiring an evil desire." And Ezra said, "Most High, have mercy on the sinners." And they led him downward in the infernal regions, and he saw a cauldron in which were sulfur and bitumen, and it was rolling, just like the waves of the sea. And the just were entering, and in the midst of it they were walking over the fiery waves, praising greatly the name of the Most High, just like those who walk over dew or cold water. And Ezra said, "Who are they?" The angels said, "They are the ones who daily were making better confessions before the Most High and the holy priests, freely bringing alms and resisting sins." And the sinners came, wishing to pass over, and the angels of hell came and submerged them in the fiery stream. And from the fire they cried out, saying, "Most High, have pity on us." But he did not have pity. A voice was heard, but a body was not seen because of the fire and the anguish. And Ezra said, "Who are they?" The angels said, "They were brought down by lust all their days. They did not receive strangers. They did not give alms. They took unjustly the things of others for themselves. They had an evil desire. Therefore they are in anguish." And Ezra said, "Most High, have mercy on the sinners." And he walked as before, and he saw, in an obscure place, an immortal worm. Its magnitude he was not able to reckon. And in front of its mouth stood many sinners, and when it drew in a breath, like flies they entered into its mouth. Then when it exhaled, they all exited a different color. And Ezra said, "Who are they?" And they said, "They were full of every bad thing, and they went about without confession or penitence." And he saw a person sitting on a fiery throne, and his counselors stood around him in the fire, and they served him from the fire and out of every side. And Ezra said, "Who is this?" And the angel said, "That man whose name is Herod was king for a long time, who in Bethlehem of Judea slew the infant males on account of the Most High." And Ezra said, "Most High, judge a right judgment." And he walked and saw men who were bound, and the angels of hell were pricking their eyes with thorns. And Ezra said, "Who are they?" The angels said, "They showed strange paths to those wandering." Ezra said, "Most High, have mercy on the sinners." And he saw virgins with 500-pound neck irons on, as if near death, coming to the west. And Ezra said, Who are they? And the angel said, They violated their virginity before marriage. And there was a multitude of old men lying prostrate, and over them molten iron and lead were being poured. And he said, Who are they? And the angel said, They are the doctors of the law, who confused baptism and the law of the Most High, because they were teaching with words, but they did not spur on to work, and in this they are judged. And Ezra said, Most High, have mercy on the sinners. And he saw visions of a furnace against the setting sun, burning with great fire, into which were sent many kings and princes of this world. And many thousands of poor people were accusing them and saying, They, through their power, wounded us and dragged free men into servitude. And he saw another furnace burning with pitch and sulfur, into which sons were cast who acted wretchedly at the hands of their parents, and caused injury by means of their mouth. And he saw in a most obscure place another furnace, burning, into which many women were cast. And he said, Who are they? And the angels said, They had sons in adultery and killed them. And those little ones themselves accused them, saying, Most High, the souls which you gave to us, these women took away. And he said, Who are they? And the angels said, They killed their sons. And Ezra said, Most High, have mercy on the sinners. Then Michael and Gabriel came and said to him, Come into heaven. And Ezra said, As my Most High lives, I may not come until I see every judgment of sinners. And they led him downward into the infernal regions beyond the 14th level. And he saw lions and little dogs lying around fiery flames. And the just came through them, and they crossed over into paradise. And he saw many thousands of the just, and their habitations were the most splendid of any time. And after he saw this, he was lifted up into heaven, and he came to a multitude of angels, and they said to him, Pray to the Most High for the sinners. And they put him down within the sight of the Most High, and he said, Almighty, have mercy on the sinners. And the Most High said, Ezra, let them receive according to their works. And Ezra said, Almighty, you have shown more clemency to the animals which eat the grass, and have not returned you praise, than to us. They die and have no sin, however you torture us, living and dead. And the Most High said, In my image I have formed man, and I have commanded that they not sin, and they sinned. Therefore they are in torments. And the elect are those who go into eternal rest on account of confession, penitence, and largesse in almsgiving. And Ezra said, Most High, what do the just do in order that they may not enter into judgment? And the Most High said to him, Just as the servant who performed well for his master will receive liberty, so too will the just in the kingdom of heaven. Amen. The revelation of Ezra. The revelation which was made to Ezra and the children of Israel concerning the nature of the year through the beginning of January. In the first day of January, if the first day of January comes on the Most High's day, it makes a warm winter, a wet spring, a windy autumn, good crops, abundance of cattle, sufficient honey, good vintages, plenty of beans, successful gardens. But young men will die, there will be battles and great robberies, and something new will be heard about kings and rulers. The day of the moon, Monday, makes both winter and summer moderate. There will be great floods and sickness, infantry warfare, changes of rulers, many wives will sit in lamentation. There will be much ice, kings will die, there will be a good vintage, bees will die. The day of Mars, Tuesday, makes a severe and gloomy winter, spring snow, rainy summer, and a dry autumn. Grain will be high priced. There will be a destruction of pigs and a sudden plague among cattle. Selling will be dangerous, and honey sufficient. Flax will be high priced, fires will be numerous, beans, garden vegetables, and oil will be abundant. Women will die, and kings also will die. The vintage will be troubled. The day of Mercury, Wednesday, Productiveness of crops, a good vintage, lack of fruits, success in business, a destruction of men, a warm winter. Autumn will be moderate. There will be dangers from the sword, plenty of oil, looseness of the bowels and entrails. Women will die. There will be famine in diverse places and a good summer. Something new will be heard, and there will be no honey. The day of Jupiter, Thursday. There will be worthlessness of grain, meat will be high-priced, and there will be an abundance of fruits. There will be less honey, winter will be moderate, spring windy, autumn good, summer good. There will be a destruction of pigs and much rain, rivers will flood. There will be sufficient oil, the crop will spoil, beans will be mixed, and there will be peace. The day of Venus, Friday, makes a moderate winter, a bad summer, dry autumn, worthless grain, a good vintage, inflammation of the eyes. Infants will die, there will be an earthquake, there will be peril for kings, oil will be abundant, sheep and bees will perish. The day of Saturn, Saturday, makes a windy winter, a bad spring, a summer which changes as it is harassed by storms, a dry autumn, scarcity of grain and high-priced flax. Fevers will spread, people will be harassed by various ailments, old men will die.